All right. UFC 247. Let's get into it. I made 5 picks. I got 4 out of 5 picks, so excellent night for me. But we had a lot of controversy. A lot of the judges were so all over the place. I was all over the place. Now, right from the prelims on, now let's get into it. First fight, I got this pick. I chose Derrick Lewis to beat Olear Latifi. Watching this real time, I actually thought he might have lost. It was on my rewatch that I realized I actually agree with the judge's decision. So the first round went to Derrick Lewis. On the feet, he can anytime they were on the feet in space, it was him initiating the contact, him trying to take Olear's head off. Second round goes to Olear. He was able to take him down and hold that top position for a majority of that round. Not really mount too much offense. At one point, they were even broken up against the cage, but that round to me went to Olear. Now, the second round, I actually thought Olear held him down longer, or held top position longer than he did real time. When I rewatched the fight, he took him down around the 4:30-minute mark, and Derrick was able to get up around the 2-minute mark. So that's 2 minutes and 30 seconds, half the round. And the other half the round where Derrick was up and in space, that he dominated that portion, trying to take Olear's head off with kicks, fast head kicks that I never saw from the big man before. Even when Olear tried to press him against the cage, he landed some elbows to the head and then kind of flung him off of him. There was one takedown where he popped back up in that last few minutes, but other than that, the half of the fight that was standing in space was dominated by Derrick Lewis. I actually agree with the judge's decision. Great debut in the heavyweight division for Olear Latifi, and I found out because I was like, oh, why did they do this to him? It's because he asked for it. He asked for Derrick Lewis, so sometimes you shall receive. All right, who should be next for Derrick Lewis, the Black Beast? Next up, I did not get this pick. I chose Mirsad Bektic to beat Dan Ige. He did not, and I agree with the decisions. It was actually a split decision in favor of Dan. I agree. First round, he came out firing. It was clear that he was more powerful than Mirsad on the feet. He was, head kicks, kicks to the body. He was actually working the entire body. There was one point where he took him down. One point where Mirsad tried to take him down. He kind of flung him off. He seemed a lot stronger than Mirsad in that first round. Second round, Mirsad was able to take him down and hold him there, mount a little bit of offense, some ground and pound. But that round went to him. Second round was extremely close, but I do think Dan eked out the moments that were standing. I believe he did more damage than the moments that Mirsad was able to take him down. There was a lot of position jockeying, little submission attempts there in the last few minutes. It was a really close fight. I wouldn't have been upset if it would have gone the other way, but I do agree with the judges in favor of Dan Ige. Who would you like to see him fight next? Now, next up, I got this pick, and boy, did I. I chose Justin Tapa to beat Juan Adams, and he did. In the first round, they're filling each other out. They're both trying to mount some sort of offense, trying to get it going. Dewan tried to take him down at one point, and he clocked him with 2 lefts real quick. Clock, clock. They got a little bit of space. Justin Taffa came in with like an overhand right that knocked him back. Clock. Then he came in with the right uppercut and dropped him. Whew. Then he got on him. A couple of shots later, ref stopped the fight. Great win for Justin Taffa. I think he might be one to watch. He is a skillful boxer at that heavyweight division and has power. That shot didn't even look like he threw much into it, and he dropped him. So who would you like to see Justin Taffa in a not very deep heavyweight division fight next? Next up, we are on the co-main event, and I got this pick, and still the UFC Women's Flyweight Champion, Miss Valentina Shevchenko. And boy, did she win. She finished her. This was the type of win we needed. Again, we're building this division around her, and she did her job. She outclassed Katlyn Chookagain. I was wondering, because Katlyn was so much bigger than her, I was like, will she be more powerful? Maybe she'll be able to use that range. Maybe she'll be able to muscle up against the cage. She'll be physically stronger. None of that was true. She could not find her range, even though she had the reach advantage. She was not stronger than her. She could not muscle her around. In fact, it was Valentina that kind of got the takedowns and was able to muscle her up against the ground at the end of that first round, actually cut her open on top, in top mount position. She was not more powerful than Valentina Shevchenko. You know, that speed plus skill equals power, and Valentina just simply has that. So I was wrong on all accounts on that. There was no maybes. She just was not. Valentina just was simply more well-rounded. She was able to take her down all 3 rounds. The second round, she held her down the longest, and Katlyn really couldn't do much. She did land some shots on the feet. It's not like it was a complete shutout. She did land some shots, tried to come forward, but Valentina just simply had too much for her. She couldn't find her range on the feet. Now, fast forward to the third round. She tried to pull guard. I don't know why. You were losing the ground game bad. worse than the stand-up game. I don't know why you did this. So she tried to pull guard, which kind of threw her off balance, and Valentina was able to take her down immediately after that. Immediately getting the crucifix. She had her head blocking the other arm. So the girl, usually in the crucifix, they get one arm there trying to block. This, she didn't have not an arm to block her face, and she was just, she could not get out. Ref stopped the fight. Great stoppage, great win, dominant TKO for Valentina Shevchenko. Who should she fight next? Again, we're building this division around her. Some of these girls, you're going to have to step up, and you're going to have to start talking. This division is empty. It's waiting for stars. Grab it. Step up. You only got to win like 2-3 fights to get a title fight here. Step it up. Maybe some bantamweights, maybe y'all might want to come down. There's opportunities here. Step it up. All right, who do you think Valentina should fight next? Of course, out there in the wings, she wants that third match between her and Amanda Nunes. I would like her to continue building this division. Of course, Zhang Weilei in the fly. I'm so sorry. I just totally gassed. Strawweight division. She's a big strawweight, so if she gets a couple more wins there in her division, we might see a super fight there. But for now, I agree actually with Dana White that she should stay in her division and continue to build that division around Valentina. Now, main event, and I got this pick as well, and still, the UFC light heavyweight champion, Mr. Jon Bones Jones, successfully defending his belt against Mr. Dominic Reyes, who proved that he belonged to be there, who is more talented than I thought. I thought he might be faster than Jon in every way, and he should lean into that, and he was. He also put a pace on Jon Jones that I wasn't expecting either. Very high-level pace. Now, we've got some controversy here. Let's just go ahead and get into what I think happened here. So this is a unanimous decision in favor of Jon Jones. I do agree with the decision. Let me just go ahead and start talking about it. So the first 2 rounds totally went to Dominic. I don't think anybody disagrees. He put that pace on him. Even Jon Jones said he didn't expect. He was going head body. He was pushing him. Oh, he wasn't really pushing him back, even though Jon was able to hold the center octagon the entire time. It was clearly Dominic Reyes getting the best of the exchanges, landing more shots, landing cleaner shots. Clearly all his rounds 1, rounds 2. Jon Jones won round 4 and 5, the championship rounds. This is when you saw Dominic actually start to slow down. The fight started to weigh on him. Jon was really able to move forward, and he started to land cleaner shots. He actually landed more shots. He had a couple of takedowns, even though he popped back up. As DC says, you do not have to hold them down for a significant amount of time for it to be a takedown. All you have to do is take them down. And some judges give that a lot of credit. We all know the business here. So, got a couple takedowns. Either way, he landed cleaner shots, more significant shots. The rounds 4 and 5 go to Jon Jones. So, round 3. Round 3 to me was extremely close. Dominic, after dominating the first 2 rounds, only landed 4 more shots more than Jon Jones in this 3rd round. And on top of that, the shots he was landing, because I rewatched this 3rd round more than once, there was a few shots landed clean, uppercut, there was like a left shot, there was a kick to the body, there was some body punches that landed clean. Of course, I'm not saying he didn't, but in this 3rd round is when I saw most of his shots sliding off, hitting the guard, sliding off, hitting the guard. There was a lot of that here. There was also moments here where you're fighting off your back foot, you're backpedaling because you allowed Jon Jones to take the center of the octagon the entire fight, which we also know is a no-no. Judges see that as someone in a dominating position when they're the ones moving forward, initiating the sequences, chasing the other one down. They see that as dominant, even if the person who's out there working off their back foot is actually landing more shots. So you have to take that into consideration when you're fighting these fights. Okay, so Jon Jones was landing more shots, landing cleaner shots, in this 3rd round. He's also tearing up those kicks with the leg there. Again, kicks is another thing that some judges give kicks more weight than they give a significant punch to the head. Some judges do it flipped. I actually don't mind either one of those because it depends on the fighter. A Jose Aldo significant kick to the leg, to me, is worth more than, say, a Max Holloway significant shot to the head. So it depends on the fighter. So you have to give some leeway for the judges to make those choices. So I don't mind if you happen to have a judge who gives more leeway or gives more weight to the kicks than they do punches, or vice versa. Clearly, I think that came into play here in this 3rd round. So for me, the 3rd round is basically too close to call. And this is a championship fight. Also, this is not just any champion, it's Jon Jones. I actually do believe the whole unwritten rule that the championship rounds mean a little bit more. I agree with that. Let me make that clear. Should it be a written rule? No. Not all rules are written. You got to wake up in life. Some things are unspoken. You know what I'm saying? So, if the championship rounds don't hold a little bit more weight, then why are they there? If they're to be judged just like the first 3 rounds, then why aren't championship fights and main events just simply 3 rounds? Why are we making champions prepare for longer fights, longer rounds, harder training camps to prepare for 2 extra rounds on top of the media obligations and the touring and all of that? Being champion is harder. That's why they make more money. Winning a belt should be harder than just winning a regular fight. Yes, I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, I know that's out there saying, judges the same, that 4 and 5 should be just the same as 1, 2, and 3. I don't agree with that. If so, then why are they there? Why are they there? What makes them championship rounds? If you don't have to dig a little deeper, last a little longer, push through a little harder, be a little tougher, that's what makes you champion. That's why you're on top. It has to be harder to win a title fight than it is to win a regular fight. I believe that. So in my opinion, this fight's a draw. Or Jon Jones. Draw, which is what I initially thought when I rewatched it. I kind of doubled down in my draw opinion. And if I have to pick a winner, the belt stays with Jon Jones. Because I believe that the championship round should hold more weight. I believe it should be harder to take a belt than to win an average fight. Otherwise, they should all just simply be 3-round fights. What makes them championship fights, right? So I understand that that's a controversial opinion. And the judge that had it 49-46, come on, man. You're creating a controversy. People wouldn't be this upset if that score didn't exist. He didn't win 4 rounds. Jon didn't win 4 rounds. All right, so now, again, the judging all over this entire card was all over the place, so you let me know what you think should be done. We have to develop some sort of criteria here, but in my opinion, my suggestion is to start wide, broad, and work our way in. You can't start with things like, a jab is 1 point, a punch is 2 points, a kick is 3 points. You can't do that because, again, it's subjected to the fighters. Some fighters, their kicks are more powerful than their punches and vice versa. So you have to give the judges leeway to make those decisions. So I think it would be an even worse mistake if we start extremely specific, like, 2 points, 1 point, 2. Let's start broad, okay? If it's a takedown situation and neither fighter's really mounting an offense, then the person on top is winning. If it's a takedown situation and the person on top is merely maintaining top position, not mounting any offense, and the person on the bottom, like a Tony Ferguson, is slicing them up, going for submissions, then the person on the bottom's winning. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's start broad, and work our way in. Now, let me know what you guys thought about this entire fight. Again, there was some really kooky judge decisions here on the prelims, too. I did watch them. The video's long, so go ahead and talk to me about the prelim judges' decisions and all of that as well. Let me know what you thought about the Olear Latifi fight. Do you think Olear won? Because at first I did. Upon rewatching it, I thought the judges got it right. And, of course, the main event, what do you think there with that decision? What do you think should be done with the whole judging? There's a lot of boxing judges who actually judge MMA. We got to get away from that. We got to get people who can recognize what they're seeing here. Maybe more refs should judge. I don't know. Someone just give me your thoughts, your opinions, or suggestions. Do you agree?